The enormous ships appeared in Earth's sky without warning. One moment, the stars looked normal. The next, 50 huge vessels blocked the light from the sun. Each ship was bigger than the largest city on Earth. They were made of a strange metal that seemed to glow from within. People around the world stopped what they were doing and looked up. Some ran in fear, others stood still, frozen in shock. News channels everywhere showed the same images. Social media filled with videos of the ships. Government leaders rushed to emergency meetings. Major Catherine Wells was drinking coffee in the Air Force base cafeteria when the alert sounded. She ran to the command center where screens showed the alien ships. General Alan Price pointed at her. "Wells, you're our best pilot and you speak 4 languages. If these aliens want to talk, you're going to meet them." Catherine nodded. Her heart beat fast, but her face stayed calm. She had trained for many things, but not this. The aliens sent their message 6 hours later. It came to every phone, computer, radio, and television at once. The voice spoke perfect English, but it sounded cold and mechanical. "People of Earth, we are the Galactic Council, the ruling body of 17 advanced civilizations. We have watched your planet for many years. Your species develops too quickly. You are too unpredictable, too dangerous. You have 30 Earth days to surrender your world to Council protection. If you refuse, we will remove the human threat. This is not negotiable." The message, repeated in every language on Earth. President Lavra Mitchell spoke to the world an hour later from the White House. Her face looked tired but determined. "We will not panic. We will not surrender without understanding what this means. For our people, we have opened communication channels with the Council and requested a meeting." 3 days later, Catherine Wells boarded a small shuttle with 5 other people, 2 scientists, 2 military officers, and 1 diplomat. The shuttle took them up to the largest alien ship. Catherine looked out the window as Earth grew smaller. Below them, she wondered if she would ever see it again. The inside of the alien ship was huge and strange. The walls looked like they were made of liquid metal. The air felt thick and smelled like cinnamon. Their guide was a tall being with crystalline skin that changed colors as it moved. It called itself Zorlith. "The Council will see you now," it said. The Council chamber was a large round room. 17 different alien beings sat in a circle. Some looked almost human. Others were completely different. One was a cloud of gas. Another looked like a giant insect. The humans were given seats in the center. A blue-skinned alien with 4 arms spoke first. "We have studied your species for 200 years. You are too dangerous to join galactic society." "How are we dangerous?" asked Catherine. "We haven't even left our own solar system yet," a different alien answered. This one had no mouth, but words formed in Catherine's mind. 200 years ago you traveled by horse, now you split atoms. No other species has developed so quickly. You wage wars constantly. Your entertainment glorifies violence. Your resources are almost gone, yet you continue to consume. "We are young," said Dr. Paul Green, one of the scientists. "All species must go through growing pains." "Perhaps," said Zorlith, "but the Council cannot take that risk." Other young species were guided slowly into the galactic community. Humans refuse guidance. You question everything, you break rules. You change too quickly. Catherine realized the truth. "You're afraid of us." The room grew quiet. Then the blue alien spoke again. "Yes, not of what you are now, but of what you might become. Better to end the threat before it grows." "What does surrender mean?" asked Maria Lopez, the diplomat. "We will establish bases on Earth. Humans will be restricted to certain areas. Your technology will be controlled. Population growth will be limited. In time, perhaps restrictions will ease." "And if we refuse?" asked Catherine. "Then we will remove humans from the galaxy. Your planet has resources that would benefit Council." "Species?" The meeting ended. The humans returned to Earth with the Council's terms. President Mitchell called an emergency meeting with leaders from every country. Catherine attended to report what she had learned. The room was filled with powerful people arguing loudly. "We can't fight these aliens. We can't surrender either. Maybe they'll be reasonable if we negotiate. Admiral Joseph Bennett stood up. He was a tall man with gray hair and a face marked by years at sea. The room grew quiet. "I've studied the images of their ships," he said. "I've read the reports from Major Wells. These aliens have technology we can't match. But they have weaknesses. Two, they don't understand us. They think in straight lines while humans think around corners. They expect us to either surrender or fight a conventional war. We need to show them something they've never seen before." "What do you suggest?" asked President Mitchell. "They've given us 30 days. Let's use them. Share technology globally. Prepare our people. Develop new weapons and strategies. Let them come and see what humans are truly capable of when we work together." The room was silent for a moment. Then President Mitchell nodded slowly. "All in favor?" Hands rose around the room. "Not all, but enough." Catherine felt a strange mix of fear and pride. The next 30 days would determine the future of humanity. As she left the meeting, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Admiral Bennett. "Report to Nevada base tomorrow. We're assembling a special team." Around the world, the message spread. In factories and laboratories, on military bases and in schools, people began to prepare. Old enemies put aside their differences to face this new threat. Scientists shared secrets they had kept for decades. 30 days later, Earth sent its response to the Galactic Council. It was a simple message, just 3 words. "Come and see." The world changed overnight. Countries that had been enemies for generations now worked together. The 30-day countdown to possible invasion became the only thing that mattered. Catherine Wells arrived at the secret base in Nevada desert. The facility stretched deep underground, away from the watchful eyes of the Galactic Council's ships. She showed her new security badge to the guards and stepped into an elevator that took her down 10 floors. Admiral Bennett greeted her when the doors opened. "Major Wells, glad you made it. Walk with me." They moved through busy hallways filled with soldiers and scientists. Everyone moved with purpose. The Admiral spoke as they walked. "We've assembled the best minds and fighters from around the world. Your experience with the aliens makes you valuable. I need you to help lead our special response team." Catherine nodded. "What's the plan, sir? We can't match their technology." "No, but we can outsmart them. They think in straight lines. We need to think sideways." The Admiral led her into a large room. Maps and screens covered the walls. About 30 people worked at computers or talked in small groups. He pointed to a woman with curly hair who was writing complex equations on a glass board. "That's Dr. Olivia Carter from MIT, best physicist in the country. She's studying the images of the Council ships to find weaknesses in their shields." Dr. Carter noticed them and walked over. She had tired eyes but spoke with energy. "Major Wells, I've been hoping to meet you. You saw their ships up close. Did you notice how the hull seemed to ripple when objects passed nearby?" "Yes," said Catherine. "It was like watching water move," Olivia smiled. "Exactly. Their shields aren't solid. They're energy fields that adapt to threats. If we hit them the same way twice, the second hit won't work. We need weapons that change constantly." "Admiral." Bennett nodded. "Keep working on it. We need solutions, not just theories." Next, they visited a large training area where soldiers practiced fighting using strange weapons. A tall man with dark skin directed the exercises. He wore combat fatigues with Lieutenant bars. "Lieutenant Ryan Martinez," said the Admiral. "He's leading our ground response team." Ryan paused the training and joined them. "Major Wells, honor to meet you. Your report on alien physiology was helpful. We're developing new tactics based on what you observed." Catherine watched as the soldiers resumed their exercises. They moved in ways she had never seen before, not like traditional military units. "What are they doing?" she asked. "Fighting like humans, not like machines," Ryan explained. "The Council. Species all evolved from herd or hive creatures. They think as groups. Humans are different. We can act as individuals or teams as needed. We're training to be unpredictable." Their next stop was a hangar where engineers worked on various aircraft. Some looked like normal jets, Others were completely new designs. A man in a flight suit supervised the work. "Commander Daniel Frost," said the admiral. "He's in charge of our space defense." Daniel wiped grease from his hands before shaking Catherine's. "We're modifying everything we have. The USS Defiant and 3 other ships are being retrofitted in orbit." Catherine looked at the unusual modifications on the aircraft. "Will these work against their technology?" Daniel shrugged. "Maybe for a short time. But the real plan isn't to win by fighting fair. It's about being so unpredictable they can't adapt fast enough." The next 3 weeks passed quickly. Catherine split her time between training with Ryan's team and helping coordinate the global response. Countries shared their most secret technologies. Factories ran day and night producing new weapons and defenses. Dr. Carter made a breakthrough in understanding the Council's shield technology. "Their shields work like noise-canceling headphones," she explained during a meeting. "They detect incoming energy and produce an opposite energy to cancel it, but there's a tiny delay. If we can exploit that delay, we can get through." In space, Commander Frost's teams worked to prepare Earth's small fleet. They couldn't match the Council's firepower, but they designed hit-and-run tactics that might confuse the aliens. Lieutenant Martinez trained his special forces to fight using unpredictable patterns. "Humans are good at chaos," he told his troops. "Let's use that." On the ground, cities were partially evacuated. People moved to underground shelters or remote areas. Vital industries were hidden or protected as best as possible. Everyone knew there would be losses, but they hoped to survive as a species. Catherine found Admiral Bennett looking at satellite images late one night. The Galactic Council ships had not moved, but there were signs they were preparing for action. "Do you think we have a chance, sir?" she asked. The Admiral didn't look away from the screens. "A small one. We can't win a direct fight. But we might be able to make it so costly they decide we're not worth the trouble. And if that doesn't work," now he turned to face her, "then we make sure some of us survive to keep fighting. Humanity doesn't end even if we lose Earth." 3 days before the deadline, President Mitchell addressed the world again. She stood tall despite the weight on her shoulders. "We have prepared as best we can. Some places will be targeted more than others. If you haven't moved to a designated shelter area, please do so now. Remember that we fight not just for ourselves, but for the right of all species to develop in their own way." On the final day, Catherine joined Admiral Bennett and other leaders in the underground command center. A communication link to the Galactic Council was open. The cold, mechanical voice spoke. "Your time has expired. What is your answer?" President Mitchell replied from her secure location. "We decline to surrender. We invite you to come and see what humans are capable of." There was a long pause before the Council responded. "You have made your choice. Prepare for removal." The link went silent. Everyone in the command center looked at each other. This was it. The moment humanity would either stand or fall. Admiral Bennett's voice was calm as he gave the order. "All units. Operation Scattered Earth is now active. May God help us all." Catherine took a deep breath as she headed to her assigned post. The next few hours would determine the fate of her species. She felt fear, but also a strange sense of pride. Humans might fall, but they would fall fighting, showing the galaxy exactly what they were made of. The attack began with light. Bright flashes filled the sky as the Galactic Council ships released a massive electromagnetic pulse. They expected to disable Earth's technology in one strike. But humanity had prepared. Key systems were shielded or hidden underground. When the pulse faded, many things still worked. This was the first surprise for the Council. In the Nevada Command Center, Admiral Bennett watched as the alien ships moved into attack formation. "They're spreading out to target major cities," he said, "just as we expected." Catherine checked her gear. She would be joining Lieutenant Martinez's team soon. "Any word from our orbital forces?" "Commander Frost reports all ships are in position. They're waiting for the right moment." The first physical attack came as energy beams from the Council ships. They targeted military bases and power plants. Buildings exploded. Fires spread. But many targets were empty dummy facilities created to draw enemy fire. Admiral Bennett gave the order, launch Operation False Echo. Around the world, strange devices activated. They created sensor readings that made it look like Earth had massive weapons hidden in unexpected places. The Council ships adjusted their attack, firing at mountains and fields where nothing important existed. In orbit, Commander Frost watched from the USS Defiant. His small fleet of ships had been hiding behind Earth's moon. The Council is distracted. Time to show them what we can do. The Earth ships moved quickly. They were small compared to the Council vessels, but they were fast. Each carried weapons designed by Dr. Carter to exploit the tiny delay in alien shields. Captain Samantha Rodriguez led the first attack squadron. "Remember the plan," she told her pilots. "Hit and run. Don't stay in one place. Keep changing your attack pattern." Her fighters approached a smaller Council ship. The alien vessel tried to target them, but the Earth ships moved in strange patterns, never flying straight. They fired their special weapons, missiles that changed frequency as they flew. The first missile hit the alien shield and caused it to ripple. The second missile, right behind it, passed through the disruption and struck the ship itself. A small explosion marked their first success. "It worked," Samantha shouted. "Don't get cocky. Retreat and regroup for the next run." Her squadron pulled away before the alien ship could respond properly. They had caused only minor damage, but they had proven something important. The Council wasn't invincible. On the ground, the situation was more difficult. Council ships landed troops in several locations. The aliens were tall, with 4 arms and advanced weapons. They moved in perfect formation like a single organism with many parts. Lieutenant Martinez led his special forces team against one such landing. "Remember your training," he told them. "They expect us to fight like they do. We won't." His soldiers split into small groups. They attacked from different directions, never using the same tactic twice. They set traps and ambush the alien troops tried to respond, but they couldn't predict what the humans would do next. In Boston, Dr. Carter worked with her team in a bunker beneath MIT. They monitored the alien communications, looking for patterns. "They're confused," she said. "Their battle algorithms aren't working against our tactics." Catherine was with a team near Los Angeles when they spotted a damaged Council ship making an emergency landing. "Admiral, we have an opportunity here," she reported over the secure line. "We might be able to capture alien technology." "Do it," ordered Admiral Bennett. "But be careful. We need that tech intact." Catherine led her squad toward the crashed ship. Alien guards had formed a defensive circle around it. They fired at anything that moved. "We need a distraction," Catherine said. She noticed a nearby fuel station. "Johnson, Peters, see that gas station? Make it explode, but give us 3 minutes to get in position." When the explosion came, the aliens all turned toward it. Catherine's team attacked from the opposite side. The fight was short but intense. 3 humans died, but they secured the ship. "Get the science team here," Catherine ordered. "And tell Lieutenant Martinez we need his alien language expert." While battles raged around the world, Admiral Bennett implemented the next phase of operation. Scattered Earth, humanity had expected to lose cities and infrastructure. The plan wasn't to protect buildings, it was to save people and keep fighting. Small human bases appeared in remote areas. Guerrilla fighters struck alien positions and then disappeared. The Council forces tried to respond, but they were trained for a conventional war against conventional enemies. Humans weren't fighting by the rules. President Mitchell broadcast a message from her hidden location. "People of Earth, the fight continues. We have lost much, but we are not defeated. Every day we resist shows the Council they underestimated. Yes, stay strong, help each other. This is not the end." In orbit, the battle continued. Commander Frost's ships had damaged 3 Council vessels, but 2 Earth ships had been destroyed. The survivors were grouped near Mars. "We can't keep fighting them directly," Frost told his captains. "We need a new approach." Captain Rodriguez suggested, "What if we target their supply ships instead of their warships?" "They must have support vessels bringing fuel and materials," Commander Frost nodded. "Good thinking." Find those ships and hit them hard. On Earth, Catherine's team worked with scientists to understand the captured alien technology. The ship's pilot had survived and was their prisoner. The alien was afraid of the humans because they didn't behave as expected. Dr. Carter arrived to examine the ship. "This is incredible," she said as she studied the control systems. "Their technology is advanced, but it's based on principles we understand. Given time, we can adapt this." A month into the war, Earth had suffered greatly. Major cities were damaged or destroyed. Millions of people had died. But humanity was still fighting, and the Council was confused by this resistance. In the Nevada Command Center, Admiral Bennett studied the latest reports. The Council is adjusting their strategy. They're pulling back to regroup. Catherine looked at the tactical display. "Is that good or bad?" "Both," said the Admiral. "They're realizing this won't be easy, but they'll come back with a new approach. We need to be ready." Around the world, humans continue to fight, adapt, and survive. The Council had expected a quick surrender or a conventional war they could easily win. Instead, they found themselves in a conflict unlike any they had experienced in their thousands of years of conquest. Humanity's message, "Come and see," had been accepted. The Council was seeing what humans could do when pushed to the edge, and they were beginning to worry about what they had started. 3 months into the war, Earth looked very different. Many cities were damaged or destroyed. Millions of people lived underground or in hidden camps. But the planet was far from defeated. The Galactic Council had expected a quick victory. Instead, they found themselves fighting a war unlike any they had experienced in thousands of years. Their perfect formations and advanced technology were meeting human unpredictability and fierce determination. In the Nevada Command Center, Admiral Bennett studied the latest battle reports. "The Council is pulling back their forces in the Eastern Hemisphere," he told Catherine. "They're concentrating on North America now?" Catherine pointed to several locations on the map. "They've established major bases here, and here. They're trying to secure territory instead of just destroying targets. That means we're forcing them to change their approach," the Admiral said. "Good." Dr. Carter entered the room carrying a tablet computer. Her eyes were bright with excitement. "I have something important to show you." She placed the tablet on the table. It displayed strange symbols and patterns. "This is the Council's communication code. We've been working on it since we captured their ship. We can now understand most of their messages to each other." Admiral Bennett leaned forward. "Can we send fake messages?" "Not yet," Dr. Carter said, "but we can listen. And what we're hearing is very interesting." She touched the screen and a translation appeared. "The Council members are arguing with each other. Some think this war was a mistake." Catherine read the message. "The Xanthari representative says humans are too costly to subdue and pose no immediate threat to the galaxy. They're suggesting a negotiated peace." "Which Council members oppose peace?" asked the Admiral. "The Drax and the Vorn," Dr. Carter said. "They started this war, and they don't want to admit they were wrong. They're pushing to increase attacks." "Admiral." Bennett nodded slowly. "So the Council isn't united?" "We can use that," Dr. Carter continued. "There's more. My team has developed a virus that can infiltrate their computer systems. We can't control their ships, but we can monitor all their communications, and sometimes feed them false sensor readings." "How soon can it be ready?" asked the Admiral. 2 weeks, maybe less. Make it your top priority." In orbit, Commander Frost and Captain Rodriguez planned their next mission. The Earth fleet had grown stronger as captured alien technology was incorporated into their ships. They now had 12 vessels that could fight effectively against the Council. "Their supply lines are vulnerable," Frost told his officers. "They bring resources from their home systems through stable travel points near Jupiter. If we can disrupt those supply lines, their war effort will suffer." Captain Rodriguez studied the tactical display. "It's risky. They have heavy defenses around those points." "That's why they won't expect us to attack there," Frost said. "We'll use Dr. Carter's virus to make their sensors show our ships in a different location. Then we strike fast and disappear." On the ground, Lieutenant Martinez led his special forces. On increasingly bold missions, they no longer just defended human territory, they actively raided council bases. His team had become experts at using captured alien weapons against their former owners. The aliens think the same way, move the same way, fight the same way, he told his soldiers before a mission. That's their weakness. We adapt, we change, we surprise them. His latest mission was to rescue human prisoners from a council processing facility in what used to be Chicago. The aliens were studying captured humans to better understand their enemy. Martinez's team approached under cover of night. They used devices developed by Dr. Carter that masked their heat signatures from alien sensors. The rescue operation was quick and precise. They freed 300 prisoners and destroyed the facility. As they evacuated, Martinez found research data on the alien computers. He downloaded it before setting explosives to destroy the evidence of what had happened there. Back at base, Dr. Carter examined the data Martinez had recovered. This is disturbing, she told Admiral Bennett and Catherine. The Council is studying human biology to develop targeted weapons viruses that would affect only humans. Biological warfare, the Admiral said grimly. We need to prepare defenses. There's something else, Dr. Carter continued. According to these files, one of the Council species, the Xanthari, has a genetic structure surprisingly similar to humans. That might explain why they're the ones pushing for peace. President Mitchell called an emergency meeting with her remaining advisors. After hearing all the reports, she made a decision. It's time to send a new message to the Council, she said. Not just to the leaders who want this war, but directly to all 17 species. We'll tell them we don't want to destroy them. We want to live in peace as equals. The Drax and Vorn won't agree to that, Admiral Bennett warned. They don't have to, the President replied. We just need to convince enough of the others. Create division in their ranks. The message was broadcast using the Council's own communication frequencies, thanks to Dr. Carter's work. President Mitchell spoke clearly and calmly. People of the Galactic Council, for 3 months we have fought against your invasion. We did not start this conflict, but we will defend our world. However, we recognize that not all Council species support this war. We are willing to negotiate peace, not surrender, but a true peace between equals. This offer is open to any Council member who wishes to talk. The response came quickly. The Drax representative's voice was angry. Humans use tricks even now. There will be no negotiation. Only complete surrender. But there was a second message, sent privately on a secure channel. It came from the Xanthari. Some of us wish to discuss terms. This war has become too costly. For too little gain. Commander Frost's mission to attack the Council supply lines launched the next day. Earthships appeared suddenly near Jupiter, targeting the supply vessels and ignoring the warships. They destroyed fuel tankers and material transports. Before disappearing again, the attack caused major problems for the Council forces. Without supplies, their ground troops had to reduce operations. Some ships had to return to their home systems. For refueling, Admiral Bennett called Catherine to his office after receiving reports of the mission's success. We've hurt them, but they're still powerful. The war could drag on for years. We need to push for these peace talks while we have momentum. Catherine nodded. The Xanthari want to meet on neutral ground. They suggested the far side of the moon. It could be a trap, the Admiral warned. It could be our best chance to end this war, Catherine replied. Let me lead the delegation. The Admiral studied her face for a long moment. Prepare a team, but be ready for anything. The future of humanity might depend on these talks. Catherine left to select her team. After 3 months of fighting, a small chance for peace had appeared. The question was whether the Council was truly divided enough to make it possible. Catherine stood on the surface of the moon with 4 other humans. They wore special suits that protected them from the harsh environment. Before them was a temporary structure built by the Xanthari for the peace talks. Remember, Catherine told her team, we're here to negotiate, not surrender. Earth has proven we can fight. Now we need to show we can make peace too. Inside the structure, the air was breathable. 3 Xandari representatives waited for them. The aliens had blue skin and 4 arms. They looked similar to the Drax but had gentler features and moved more gracefully. The lead Xandari spoke first. "I am Zella, voice of the Xandari. We speak for 5 council species who believe this war was a mistake." Catherine removed her helmet. "I am Major Catherine Wells, representing Earth. We are ready to discuss peace terms." The meeting lasted 6 hours. The Xandari explained that the council was deeply divided. The war had cost more than expected, both in resources and lives. Many council ships had been damaged or destroyed. The human tactics confused and frustrated them. "Your species does not fight as others do," Zella said. "You abandon cities to save people. You attack in ways we cannot predict." The Draxenvorn still believe you can be defeated, but others see the truth. This war could last years with no clear winner. Catherine shared Earth's position. "We don't want to fight. We want to join the galactic community as equals, not subjects. We have much to offer and much to learn." As they talked, an alarm sounded. A Xandari aide rushed in with news. "Drax warships approach. They discovered our meeting." Catherine's team quickly put their helmets back on. Zella looked worried. "They will try to stop these talks. We must leave now." Outside, they saw 3 Drax ships descending toward the moon. Catherine contacted Admiral Bennett. "We need extraction. Immediately, hostile forces incoming." "Commander Frost is on his way," the Admiral replied. "Hold position." The Drax ships landed nearby. Alien troops moved toward the structure, weapons ready. Catherine and her team prepared to defend themselves. The Xandari looked uncertain. "We are diplomats, not warriors," Zella said. "Stay behind us," Catherine told them. The first Drax soldiers reached the entrance. They were about to attack when a flash of light appeared in the sky. The USS Defiant dropped out of orbit, firing precisely at the Drax positions. The alien troops scattered, seeking cover. A human shuttle landed near Catherine's position. "Commander." Frost's voice came through her helmet. "Major Wells, time to go." Catherine turned to Zella. "Come with us. You'll be safe on Earth until this is resolved." The Xandari hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, the Drax will not forgive our actions today." They boarded the shuttle and escaped as the Defiant kept the Drax ships busy. Once they were safely away, Catherine contacted Admiral Bennett with the news. "The peace talks were productive, but—" Interrupted. "We have the Xandari representatives with us. They've agreed to continue discussions on Earth." On Earth, the war continued. The Draxenvorn pushed for greater attacks, but 3 more council species joined the Xandari in questioning the war. The council, which had stood united for thousands of years, was fracturing. Dr. Carter's virus had spread throughout the council's communication systems. Humans could now listen to all their debates and plans. Sometimes they sent false information that led council ships into traps. Lieutenant Martinez and his forces became bolder, attacking major council bases. They no longer just defended, they actively pushed the aliens back in many areas. President Mitchell met with the Xandari representatives in the rebuilt United Nations building in Geneva. Parts of the city were damaged, but the main meeting hall had been restored as a symbol of hope. "We propose a new relationship," President Mitchell said. "Earth will join the galactic community not as a subject world, but as a full member with equal rights. In return, we will share our unique perspectives and help strengthen the Council." Zella and the other Xandari discussed this among themselves. Finally, Zella spoke. 8 Council species now support peace with humans. The Drax and Vorn still oppose it, with 7 species undecided. "We need a formal Council vote to end this war." Admiral Bennett, who attended the meeting, asked the key question. "Will the Drax and Vorn accept a vote that goes against them?" Zella's expression was serious. "They must, or the Council itself will break apart. That is something none of us want." 2 weeks later, a full Council meeting was called. It took place on a neutral ship in orbit around Mars. Representatives from all 17 species attended. Earth sent Catherine, Dr. Carter, and President Mitchell. The debate was long and heated. The Drax representative, a tall alien with red markings, spoke angrily. Humans are dangerous. They cannot be trusted. This war must continue until they are properly controlled. Xandari and their allies argued for peace. Zella spoke passionately. We have seen what humans can do. Yes, they are different. Yes, they develop quickly. But destroying them would be a terrible mistake. Their creativity and adaptability could benefit us all. President Mitchell addressed the council directly. We did not ask for this war. We only defended ourselves. Now we ask for peace not as conquered subjects, but as equals with something valuable to offer the galaxy. The vote was close. 9 species voted for peace. 8 voted to continue the war. The Council's traditions required a majority decision to be accepted by all. The Drax representative stood in protest. We reject this vote. We will continue the war alone if necessary. The oldest council member, a gaseous being called the Elder, spoke then. For 10,000 years, the council has stood united. If you break from us now, you break something precious. The vote has been taken. The war is over. Reluctantly, the Drax and their allies accepted the decision. The peace treaty was signed the next day. Council forces would withdraw from Earth. Humans would join the galactic community with full member rights. A transition period would allow both sides to adjust to the new reality. 1 year later, Catherine Wells stood in the new council chamber as Earth's first official representative. The chamber had been rebuilt to include a position for humanity. She wore a formal uniform with the new insignia Earth's continents. Surrounded by stars. As she took her place among the representatives of 17 other species, she remembered the words that had started it all. Come and see. The Galactic Council had come. They had seen humanity's strength, creativity, and determination. And now, instead of enemies, they were becoming allies in a much larger community. Catherine smiled. As the council session began, Earth's journey among the stars was just beginning.